Welcome to Boomer Babes Life, our travel podcast. Another episode just for you, all about travel. My name is Jaynie Morris-Riggs, founder and creator of fun at Boomer Babes Life, our global community for women over 50. Now, it's great to have your company as today we discover more exciting information and ideas and all things travel. And today we've got a very special guest. We've had her on before, and I'm delighted to welcome back Jo McLaren, our sponsorship and promotions manager from our travel partners, Phil Hoffman Travel. Jo, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Jaynie, and absolutely delighted to be here.
Now, last time we chatted, we talked all things Persia, and we got great feedback. We got lots of questions, and it was a fabulous podcast. So we wanted to have you back today because we wanted to talk another area in Europe. We want to talk about Sicily, Jo, and apparently you're the girl to tell us some great ideas, some great tips, and also some information on Sicily. Is that right?
It sure is, Jaynie. I had the absolute delight to do a Sicily tour with Renato DeStefano, our partner in Lifestyle Series with Phil Hoffman Travel. He was born in Sicily. And so going to Sicily and basing ourselves at a beautiful villa on the coast and then exploring from there was just second to none. So Sicily is like winding the clock back. It's food, it's culture, it's the local mama and nonna and papa and beautiful pasta and Jaynie, the tomatoes, and it's a real treat. Sicily is an absolute must on your bucket list for Europe. It's beautiful.
Now, Sicily is a part of Italy, right?
Yes.
Yes. So now I know that sounds really weird to ask that question. However, when I was talking to my husband on the weekend and I said that I was going to be chatting with you on our Boomer Babes Life Travel podcast about Sicily, he asked that question. He said, Sicily is actually a part of Italy, isn't it? It's not like separate to Italy. So if we were looking at a map of Europe, whereabouts in Italy or what area would we be looking for to find Sicily?
Italy looks like a foot, and Sicily looks like it's the toe of the foot has kicked poor Sicily off into the Mediterranean Sea. So it's a beautiful big island off the coast of Italy in the Mediterranean, and it is steeped in history. You can actually catch a ferry. People will take flights across from southern Italy, but there's actually a ferry that goes across to mainland Italy. So, and it's a really big island and it has its own history. It's got some of the world's largest archaeological sites. It's full of olives and beautiful food and great history and some colourful history from years ago. I won't say too much about that, but you just wander through grapevines and farms. And so, yes, in Italy, it's Italian, it's in the Mediterranean Sea, and it's a lot of gorgeous coastal areas. And Mount Etna is right in the middle, a volcano, which is still erupting. And so lots and lots to do in Sicily.
Now, you mentioned Renato DeStefano.
Yes.
Now, tell us a little bit about Renato, because when I'm not Italian, obviously. However, I have a lot of Italian friends. Now, they're incredibly passionate about life in general, which is one of the things I love about them. Renato's no different, is he? Like, he's very passionate about so many things.
Oh, yes. He does our language classes here, and he takes tours to Tuscany in northern Italy and also home to his beloved Sicily. And he based himself in Europe for a couple of months. And so we miss him here for the language classes, but he just immerses himself. He grew up with his nonna, just cooking beside his nonna, going to the markets with his nonna, and a great appreciation of his language. He was a teacher, and so he continues to teach. And if he was listening to me now, he'd be saying, Jo, You didn't listen at my language classes. Your pronunciation is so bad for some of the places. You should have got me to do this interview with Jaynie, and that's probably a good idea at some stage if we let a man on. But he's very passionate about his culture, about his history, about the food. And on a tour, the wonderful thing about Sicily, Jaynie, is that we base ourselves at a beautiful location, Marina di Modica, and it is on the coast in southern Sicily. And we take our little bus and we do day tours. And one of the highlights for me was going on a tour one day. And next thing, we're going into a farmyard. We pull up, Nonna comes out, Renato speaks to her and whatever he says, Nonna, and it was all about she and her husband make his cheese. They take it into the local markets, and her husband wasn't there, so she sold us some of her cheese. I think she even gave it to us for us to cook that night, or for Renato to have his chef cook for us. And they're the experiences. And so you'll go to a little local farm and you'll just taste their cheese or their tomatoes. We went to a herb garden on the coast, and Jaynie, you'd love this. There's some of the garden beds are shaped as yoga mats. So you're laying on a bed of sage or a bed of a soft herb, and you're putting your mat on that herb base. And could you imagine the aromas of the herb once your body warms up and you're doing some gentle yoga stretches, and you're laying in a herbal garden under cover, out, but just sun cover, but on a mat of herbs.
Wow.
Growing fresh herbs. Can you believe that? You're
That's
laying on
incredible.
a sage herb mat and the aromas just drifting around. My gosh, how do you keep up your yoga practice? It's like you've drifted off into this heady aroma of mint or sage or gorgeous herb. They are the kinds of experiences. And the people that go on the tour, Taste of Sicily with Renato, and of course we do lots of other tours to Sicily, and but they're the kind of experiences. You just head off on your little bus and you'll go out for the day, and anything can happen. Whilst we'll be going to explore beautiful Ragusa or Modica or Syracuse, and we're learning about the Greeks and the ancient temples and all sorts of things, we'll walk into a local little coffee shop, and because we're only a small group, Renato will order something, and our whole meal may be based around just the tomato and some local herbs and just the olive oil or the vinegar, or oh my gosh, and you're just savoring these moments. It's just, and then we'll sit in a village that evening because we're not ready to come home. We think, you know what, we don't want to go home tonight. We just want to stay here and just sit here and have a spritzer, and that's life. It's like a time warp. It's as if it takes you back 50 years, and you're privileged. It's pinch me moments, the privilege to be there. You go further north into the northwest, and you're deep into mafia country. What was some of the stories of the Godfather and all these things. And of course, we're saying to Renato, tell us more about this. And he's saying, well, it was just of its time, and all sorts of things happened all over the world, and it's survival, Joe. But yeah, fascinating country, or fascinating island, part of Italy.
I think that one of the things that just ignited me then, aside from the yoga experience, I think that's fantastic, and I can't wait to actually go over there and do this, is that a lot of people, Joe, and you would know this, a lot of people often say when they're planning a trip and they want to go on an experience, some people just book their flights and say, well, I'm going to go here, here and here. And then when they get there, they essentially just take potluck, and they can miss out on so many things. One of the things that I was really interested to hear you say then is that doing something like this with Renato being a local, knowing more than anyone about the area that their whole tour is in, but also being incredibly flexible. So like it's not as if you're right, okay, today we're doing this, tomorrow we're doing this. It sounds like it's incredibly relaxed and it's incredibly immersive, and it's all about the experience. And to me, that would be far more valuable than booking a flight and just taking potluck.
You're immersed in the destination, you're immersed in the culture, and those unique opportunities to having somebody with you is passionate, well, is Italian. I mean, it's like, well, that's what we do and that's how we live, and you don't rush, and it doesn't matter what time we leave. We'll leave when we're ready. Joanna, stop rushing us along. Just be in the moment. You know, all this goes on. And of course, there's gorgeous, stylish shops and everything. But Jaynie, you're right. And to be actually based at a gorgeous villa, and this villa has got a swimming pool. You can, some people just go back in the evening and just say, do you know what? I'm just going to enjoy this gorgeous villa. It's not far from the UNESCO listed centres of Modica and these beautiful places. And you just wander out, and the beach is across the way, and you wander down to the local shops or the local square. And all the locals, as you know, come out in the balmy evening, sit around the square, people watch, enjoy a coffee, enjoy a spritzer, enjoy a glass of wine. And it's just, it enables you to absolutely immerse yourself in a destination. It is a unique way of travelling. And you're right, you're not on the bus the next day, Tuesday it must be Belgium. You're just absolutely immersing yourself in a beautiful part of the world, beautiful Sicily. And you go to little local towns and you just stop and you wander through the town, and you just see the mama or the papa or the and you'll get a quaint smile, and you just feel so privileged. And the beautiful church, just sit on the steps of the church, and always the church, as you know, is at the top of the hill, the highest point. And yes, it enables you to just absolutely immerse yourself in a destination. When we went to a gorgeous Gambino winery on Mount Etna, which is the volcano, for a degustation lunch, we actually met the family. We met one of the sons, a winemaker, and he just sat with us and, you know, told us about the wine and shared it with us. And he was more laid back than Renato was. And you kind of go, it just feels like you're being treated to the family. It is just the gift of being there and picking some olives from under the tree, and then asking Nonna or Papa, or can we see where you make this? Where do you make your olive oil? And you're taken into a cave or into the cellar, and it's rustic, and it's just how they live. And this isn't about tourism. It's like, okay, you're with a local, so we'll let you into you're more than welcome to come in, because that's our culture, and we welcome guests. And our dinner would just be what we sourced for the day, or what we found, or where we went, or the local cheese, or the local tomatoes, or the herbs from the local farmer's herb market. And oh my gosh. And you have cooking classes too, which is a lot of fun. And it's a real treat.
Well, it wouldn't be an experience with Renato unless there was cooking classes, because he loves to share his passion of cooking, and to make sure that everybody leaves with a little bit of knowledge, even if it's only a little bit.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I absolutely love what I'm hearing. I know that everybody that's listening to today's travel podcast is as well. Jo, we're really excited to let everybody know that whenever you book any of your travel through our travel partners, Phil Hoffman Travel, make sure that you do mention Boom Babes Life, because when you do, a percentage of your travel dollar actually does go to our charity partnership, Love Your Sister. And doing something like this, the tour, the Sicily experience with Renato, along, with you, is one of those great great opportunities to do exactly that. Now, if you'd like to know more about what we're talking about here, just simply go have a look underneath in the comments. We've got all of the details of how you can find out more, how you can book this trip, how you can just get yourself immersed in everything that Joe is sharing with us. And if you'd like to catch up with any of the other podcasts that we do have for our Boom Babes Life Travel podcast, it's really easy. Just go to our website, boomerbabeslife.com, and click on to Boomer Babes Life Travel. Click onto the podcast, and they're all there. Joe, it's been an absolute delight once again to have you on our program. Thank you so much for sharing all about Sicily. And we look forward to having you again on another Boomer Babes Life Travel podcast really soon.
Pleasure, Jaynie. Thank you.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.